Tim, should we tell the listeners how to join the Golf Week Amateur Tour?
Yes, of course. We should probably do it now before we forget, though.
I agree. It's simple. All you need to do is go to amateurgolftour.net, click the Join the Tour button, and pay your local tour's membership.
Thanks, Chris. Membership for 2024 is open, so register today to join the oldest, largest, and best amateur tour in the country.
And remember, this podcast can be found on all the major platforms, so make sure you like, download, and share it with all your friends and family.
Chris, that's a great idea. Now, on to the show. All right, Chris, welcome back. How's everything going?
It's going good. Season's already kicked off. You know, we're kind of on the roll, and we'll see what it holds for us, you know, moving forward.
I hope everybody got the memo, how we moved the episodes from Wednesday to Monday. So this will be the second Monday episode, and that's where we'll be going forward. But we got two great guests today. We got a tour director and a player from St. Louis, and more and more tours are starting to play tournaments.
Yeah, it's getting warmer around the country. And we're starting to see, you know, March is usually the one where we see almost all tours have a tournament that month. But it's nice to see, you know, that list as far as the live scoring is concerned grow bigger and bigger every Saturday. It's nice to not have to scroll down as far as we have to. And, you know, last year, you know, shout out to our web design team. That's doing adjustments all the time, but it's good to see more tournaments being played every Saturday.
Yeah, it's great, and we just also had the first senior regional, and so we got more regionals coming up as well.
Yep, the regionals are fun. If you haven't gone to one, I highly suggest you pick one. Pick one a year and go and have a good time with you and your friends.
All right, ready to get this one started?
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Golf Week Amateur Tour, the podcast. Talking about all things Golf Week Amateur Tour, including interviews with tour directors, players, and course pros. Now, here are your hosts, Atlanta Tour Director Tim Newman and El Paso Las Cruces Director Chris Rocha.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Chris. Hope you had a good couple weeks.
Yeah, really did. Had a good tournament, good kickoff for Golf Week. About to start kickoff for senior, and already 2 events in. So it's been a great start of the year.
Yeah, and whether people realize or not, you know, it's February. So this episode comes out on February 12th. So we're almost halfway through February, and you know, the tours are rolling, man. We've had a couple of regionals already. You know, a bunch of the tours, especially in the South, already having tournaments. We've had the first senior regional. You know, so players are playing. So if you're listening and you're in an area that can't start playing yet, travel to one of these cities that are already playing.
Yeah, go have some fun. Go meet some people. I'm pretty sure you've met people from nationals if you've been out there before. So just go hang out, play some golf, and get ready for your local tour to start.
Yeah. So hope everybody sticks with us through the entire episode. Yeah, at the end, we're gonna announce a couple of things. Chris, we do have 2 entries so far into the shirt contest, and
yes, we do.
Voting is taking place on that, so make sure you vote. And again, we'll give you information on that at the end. You know, Chris, both these entries came from your tour, so you know, I hope you're not trying to stack the deck on this.
I am not. I'm just encouraging. When I see a nice shirt, I'm encouraging and letting them know what the rules are, and that's it. I mean, I would hope all the other directors, if they see a unique shirt, would do the same thing. We can get this contest rolling and hopefully bring it back another year.
Yes. So one thing I do want to mention about the shirt contest, and one, it's already fun. Yeah, I've seen something. You know, both the shirts. I think they're great. When you all submit your pictures, make sure that we have a close up of the actual shirt so that we can see what it is.
Right.
But anyway, let's bring our first guest in. You know, he's from the Tampa tour. You know, when I say tour's already rolling, I mean they're rolling. They've already had 3 events. So let's welcome in Shane McAdams from Tampa. Shane, welcome, bud.
Hey, how you doing, fellas? Good morning. It's Sunshine State, but we got like a cold front blowing through right now, so we're getting rain and all that good stuff. But it'll go away in about 2 hours, and we can hit the course again. That's how great it is in Florida.
All right, well, let me ask you, when you say a cold front, what
right.
does a cold front in Florida actually mean?
It may it's going to drop 15 degrees, maybe. You know,
say it again.
It's probably going to drop maybe 15 degrees by tonight or tomorrow. You know, our cold fronts are probably from Atlanta to here are probably 20 to 30 degrees difference. So if it's 50 degrees where y'all are at, it's 72 degrees perfect here.
Oh God.
So it's pretty good. Our lows, we had a low down to about 36 2 weeks ago, and everybody thought we was going to have ice on the road. So
yeah, the whole world's coming to an end at 36 degrees, right?
I tell you, the best thing about Florida is, you know, Florida's, I guess, all made on sand. We're all sand.
Right.
So it could rain for a day, all day long today. You can go out and play golf tomorrow, and everything is pretty much dry because all the water seeps through the ground, and there's no mud holes, there's no nothing. We don't have mud, we got sand. So that's what makes it good. A lot of courses, you know, any higher than Ocala, further north, the United States, it's all mud. So when it rains, everything's a mud hole. So we're pretty good. If it rains, we just wait for it to stop raining, go to the course, and they'll give you a bucket of balls and a golf cart until you have fun.
Get on out there, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I was in Florida, you know, down in Orlando a couple weeks ago, and it was nice. You know, walk around in shorts, it was nice. But you know, even here in Hilton Head, you know, it's going to be, you know, high 50s, so it's nice here. I mean, I'm not complaining about, you know, high 50s. You know, when I moved from Pennsylvania, I think it's in the 20s up there today. You know, that's us for the birds. And just so everybody knows, you know, you don't have to live where it's that cold. You don't have to live in Chicago. You don't have to live in Michigan. It's okay to come down where the weather's nice and you can play golf all year.
Right. Well, we teed off yesterday at 60 degrees, and we finished our 18th hole at 72.
Man, that's horrible. I feel bad for you guys.
In the sky, it was great.
Chris, that's perfect weather for you, isn't it?
That is. Must be nice.
It is. You can come down here and join in a couple months. You want to play some good events.
Well, Shane, let me ask you a question. You know, we had you and Don Risner on at National Championship, and you all talked about a unique team event that you all did. How'd that work out?
It worked out pretty great. We were kind of skeptical how it's going to work out and everything. I just got with Don. I told him, look, I'll probably have more players than you because you're kind of still building your tour. We're always building our tour. I'm telling you, and that's what's crazy. You can't stop building because what it is. Right. And I told him, look, let's do something fun. Let's make it exciting and challenging. That's what we live for. That's why we play this game. And if we can't make our players grind and have that drive to compete, they're going to lose interest. So we decided to go in, and how many players we have, they have. And we go through our roster and his roster and figure out what flight and whoever is the closest handicap to each other. So if you had a B flight guy, it's 11. I had a B flight, it's 11.1. They would compete against each other through the whole national. Then we decided to throw a little ante on top. Each player puts in $50 on the side. So now they're competing for that. And after it all sounded fun, and Don, I'm like, you know what? Let's make it interesting, Don. Let's bet my tour wins more than your tour. So we had that on that. So now we had to push our guys. I had to push my guys like, look, dude, I'm got my money on y'all, you know? So now they're trying to win a golf tournament. Now they're trying to win their $50, and now they're trying to impress our tour. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
They all loved it. They all loved it. You know, even though it was kind of hard to find Don on the last day, you know, to make sure I got my high percentage from, you know, but I found him. He was sneaking around. You know, I'm like, you can run, but you can't hide. But we enjoyed it. I got a trophy. I mean, I've had the trophy with me and go get it. We have a trophy that we're going to hold till next year, and then we're going to fight for it again. We're going to display it. We're going to show the players, look, I thought about maybe sending it to Don, maybe 2 weeks prior, 3 weeks prior, and let him show his guys at the last, or maybe even sooner to show his guys, look, this is a trophy that we lost it. We want to win it. Who's going to nationals? Well, this is like the last week to sign up or whatever. Here's the trophy. This is what we're fighting for. It's not just about this or that I need y'all guys to, as a team, to go take on Florida, you know, and that makes the players want to grind, want to drive, want to strive for something. And that's how I came up with that. And we're ready next year. And we're going to get engraved. It's going to say Tampa 2023 on it. So next year, whoever wins will be engraved, whatever, 2024.
Shay, let me tell you, from somebody who loves Ryder Cups, And we have one with Arizona that's been going, I think this was our 7th year we've done it. And we have a championship belt. I will purposely take that with me whenever I go to their events, and I wear it to the range. I tag it to my golf cart. I mean, everybody sees it. I'll send pictures to Gabe once a month, just where that belt is at whatever course.
Okay. So I need to send a recap. I need to send Don a recap. Is that what we're saying?
Yes. Just let them know, the trophy's good. It's in good hands.
Can we pause this just for a second? I can go get that trophy in about 10 seconds and we can hold it up. That way we see what show the world what's going on.
Yeah. Actually go get it. And then I'm going to need you to send me a picture of it too.
Okay. Hold
as
on.
well.
Just want some. Marie's actually, she's around the house. She's actually going to grab it real quick.
All right.
Yeah. So you need to do that, and that keeps the fire going.
Right.
I even, when I drove home with it, I put it in the seatbelt, passenger side, buckled it up, and said it's in good hands for the next year. Don't worry.
We're going to have Don on here in a couple of weeks because he's got a regional coming up at the during Memorial Day, and we're going to get his thoughts and see why he was kind of hard to find on that last day. So see what's going on there.
Yeah, but listen, this is what we did on Friday. On Friday, the day after our first day at Nationals, all his guys and him, we all met at the same restaurant. I brought 43 people. He brought, however many brought from California. We had 70 people in this restaurant. We took this restaurant. We let all the guys meet all the guys. We all had, food, had drinks. We got to meet who they were playing against because no one had an idea who they were playing against. They just had a name. And so they got to go shake their hands. So you're the guy I'm taking your money. I mean, so that was even a more of a like, oh my gosh, this is real. This is real.
Right.
This is real.
Right.
People, this is the realest you can get in amateur status tournaments. I'm going to make it that real. And that's what I strive for these guys to go home, win or lose, and realize that this was no joke. This was a real golf tournament, laying the ball down, putting everything out, no gimmies, no redos, no nothing. And once players get that taste in their mouth, we got them hooked. And once we get them hooked, that's good because then it makes the tour look better and everybody plays better and all that. But the thing is with these guys, we got to feed it to them. We don't feed them what they're trying to get, and they don't know how to get there. We got guys 10, 15 years been playing and all that good stuff, and they understand all that. But the new guys don't.
The new guys don't, right?
They're scared. It's like they pass up that because they just don't know if they want to taste that. They'll get in there and look at it and they'll be like, I don't know if it's for me. And when they have that, and I can look at guys, I can see if these guys, they're not sure what's up. But anyway, all right. So look, I'll show you what we got going on. See, I'll back up a little bit. This is it.
There we go.
A little closer. It says Golf Week Amateur Tour, California, Golf Week Amateur Tour, Tampa, Ryder Cup. And I actually found a guy who's going to engrave it on the back. I just been lazy not putting it on there, but I got to do it before I send it to Don or let him see it. On the back, doing dates all the way.
There you
go. To represent. And when the players start to see this, because I take this to every tournament, I set it out on our table and everything and display it, let everybody see what this is. And they go, what is this? Well, you know what? You want to fight for something? Go to Nationals and you can be part of this team.
That's awesome.
So that's it. It's pretty big, I'd say. It's hard to tell. It's probably 13, 14 inches tall.
Well, send me a picture of that and any pictures that you have from Nationals, whether at the dinner or money changing hands, anything like that. And we've got, we'll make sure that they get out as well.
Okay, cool. All right, man. And think about video and him paying me, man. I doubt because I said, we did cash. We're not doing Venmo. We're not doing nothing. If his players aren't there to get paid, I'll Venmo Don the difference. I wanted all the players to be there.
You can get paid, right?
To get paid, to get their $50. And that way people see money changing hands and people are like, hey, what are they passing money for? What are they doing over there in Tampa? Why are they California? What's up with these guys? You know what I mean? Look at these guys are grinders. They're coming. So that's that on the Ryder Cup. But I am going to have to send Don a picture. You're right about that.
Pretty good idea, and I'm glad it worked out. But as we look at the 24 season, you guys have already had 3 events with really good attendance and some good scores. What's going on?
We've had a few good scores. What's funny is the way I can't blame it on the weather. I can blame it on the courses. Some of the courses we got lined up for the beginning of the season are tough. People say, oh, we're only playing at 6,300 yards. Our champ flight played at 6,300 yards yesterday. Our lowest score was like a 77. And it's because if there's not water, there's woods. If there's not water and woods, there's out of bounds and hazards. But there's no misses. If you miss the fairway, you're done.
Right.
And now when people play that and they realize that, these courses are that tough, actually we have players that don't play because the courses are tough. And I'm like, I can't, it's your game that's tough. It's not the course.
Right.
I'll tell you what I'm doing to get the people and stuff to be involved. I'm making them part of the tour. I'm making them feel like a human being, not just a donation to the tour. I make them all feel like they're part of it. I never let one guy stand alone, stand there like they're lost. If I see someone that looks lost, or I go introduce myself if I've never met him, because you got 100 guys, it's hard to keep up. And I got my veterans. I tell them, I said, look, man, you see someone standing around, I said, if he looks brand new, go introduce yourself. Ask him what's going on. Tell him, look, we'll make him feel a part of this. I said, because if we don't have players, we don't have a tour.
Right.
I don't want the people to feel like this isn't for me. You know what I mean? My D flight players or my champ flight players, they're just as important. They are just as important as any other. We love our guys, and Marie, she makes every person smile, even when they're having a bad day, and she makes them feel wanted.
Right.
That's the key thing is making your players feel welcome, wanted, and part of something. If you don't make them feel part of something, they're going to play 2 events and never come back.
Right. Well, Shane, again, you're lucky that you have Marie, because if it's anything like me, when players come check in, they don't want to talk to me. They want to talk to Jen. Right.
It's I don't know what it is, but yes, the same.
But I'm looking at your at the leaderboard from yesterday, and your Patrick Terrell at 8 flight, he shot a 75, 4 over.
Yep.
That's a really good score at that course too, because I've played that course. I know. I mean, that's a good score.
That is a great score, because he is in A flight.
Right.
But they play from the same tee box. A, B, and champ, we all played from the same tee box because that was their tips.
Right.
But it plays like 6,700 yards on a lot of these holes, because you have to lay up. You have so many dog legs, you can only lay up at 200 yards out, and now you're at 180 in, 200 in. If you don't hit the center, or if you go a little left or a little right, that's what makes it so darn difficult.
Right. Yeah. And so, again, back to the leaderboard, your B flight winner, Skip Bankston. Skip, I got to give a shout out to Skip. Skip was one of my guys from D.C. He moved down.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
So it's good to see him up there.
I love Skip.
But let's talk about the regional at Innisbrook. Let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, Srixon.
A great iron set needs more than good looks. It's got to be fast and got to be pure. But good looks never hurt either. The all-new ZX Mark II irons from Srixon.
Well, the reason Innisbrook is it's coming up. We got a few months out. We're trying to promote and get people out there signing up. I think it's a little slower this year. Don't know why it's a little slower on getting people signed up and everything. The only thing I can think of is they can't find the regional. I got a lot of players asking how come we don't play Innisbrook. I'm like, yes, we are. They go, it's not on the roster, not on the schedule. And I tell them, I'm like, look, it's on the regional schedule. They're like, where's that at? And I'm like, well, you got to go all the bend at the end. And they're like, oh, I didn't know that. The James brothers, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We know the James brothers.
Okay. They come play the regional pretty much every time. They bring about 5-7 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony and Tyrone, one of the two, they called me, go, how come we're not doing Innisbrook? Because they always came down to Innisbrook. They had like a family vacation every year they come down here. And I'm like, we're doing it. And they didn't find it. So I just let them know last week. And so they're looking into it, trying to set the dates. I just a lot of guys don't read the emails to get the notification. So I got to hustle. Anyway, Innisbrook's going to be, we're going to play it 3 weeks after the Valspar. So it's going to be in perfect condition. You're not going to have a bad spot in the fairway. You're not going to have a green that doesn't roll any slower than 11.5 probably. And that's going to be crazy. So you just look at your ball as well. So we're going to do that. We're going to play the Island course first, which is harder than the Copperhead. Island is tough. It's just unbelievably tough. So if you can beat the Island, Copperhead's going to be walking the park. Everybody knows that. So it's going to be fun. They got a nice place there. They got the resort. They got the pools. They got the restaurants. 20 minutes from Clearwater Beach. So a lot of people come down and play, and the wives bring the kids, and they playing golf. And the wife gets a rental car, goes to the beach, goes down to where the movie The Dolphin movie, with no flipper or something. They put the prosthetic one on there. They did the kids movie on it. I forget what it's called, but anyway, that's right there in Clearwater. So they go down to the aquarium and get to see that dolphin. They've made the movie and all that stuff. Pretty cool. Huh. So there's a lot to do.
Yeah, I was planning on going there one year, a couple of years back. Me and my brother had flights, hotel, everything booked. And I think it was the week before your tournament, the whole country shut down for COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So I haven't been able to go back since. Been looking forward to it. Maybe we add this one the next year, Tim, and our world tour that we're doing.
Well, I'm down to pretty much go anywhere that's nice weather.
Right. But I mean, I've really been wanting to play your regional. It looks like a lot of fun. I mean, Copperhead at its own is going to be memorable if you guys can focus on golf and not the views. But like you said, just looking at the Island course picture, it looks tough, and there's a lot of water. And if you're not friends with water, then you're in trouble.
Yep. Anyway, I'm looking forward to a couple of big events we got this year. We got another event that we can make a regional. We might try to do it next year. It's on my roster. That's if they give us next year again. We'll see how that goes. So a lot of people are like, holy cow, Shane, you got two of the baddest tracks in Florida on your schedule this year. Not just Innisbrook. It's called Lakewood National. That's where the Corn Ferry plays. And it's unbelievable. We're going to do a 2-day there. That's going to be nice.
Oh yeah, your local finals. That's gonna be real nice then.
Yeah. So we'll see. And they gave you such good rates. But you know how I got that to work out, Tim, is I got Marie to go in there and close the deal.
There you go.
I couldn't get past the guy outside the gate. Marie got through the gate, past everybody in the hot seat.
See?
Yeah. So man, I give it to her. So I told her that tournament, I'm gonna have to freaking really take care of her there.
Hey, Chris, maybe that's the secret. You got to get your wife to start calling on some of these courses, and
I think I'm gonna have to try that next year. Have her call courses.
I tell you what, there's probably 2 or 3 courses that I did not get. I didn't get a contact, didn't get anything. I didn't even get a bite on the hook. I left and nothing. Can't get phone calls back, can't get emails back. So I turned Marie on it, and let me tell you, Marie locks it in. And I'm like, man, how'd you do that? And I'm like, oh my God. But she's good at it. She's good at talking to people and good at negotiating. And the big thing is no is not an option. You tell me no, I'm just pushing harder. You know what I mean? Or it ain't going to happen. Well, what are we going to do to make it happen? What can we? Right. What's it going to take? I tell you one reason, our tournament yesterday, that course double booked. So I called the club pro. No one answered. Couldn't get a response back. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Let me figure this out. It's getting late. So we decided to make a drive. We drove over there, drove to the gates, walked right in the pro shop, looked for him, talked to him, said, yo, what's going on? He did not realize it. He thought he was talking to the same people, just different. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, I guess the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And Marie, we go in there and talk to him, and she spends 2 minutes saying, hey, this is what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. He says, I'll make it happen. So he called the other people and realized he messed up and said, look, sorry, you can't play here. So, which is great, because we got seniority, you know what I mean? Then they tried to book it for today, and today we got this little bit of storm blowing through, and they canceled. And I'm like, man, our guys have played in this weather. We played in this weather 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, for an hour and 15 minutes, we played in it. People got wet. After that, it happens. It was perfect.
Our guys should know that if the course is open, we're playing.
That's what I'll say. I say I can't control.
Right. So we're playing. So if Chris could get you some rain gear, a little bit of rains, I could hurt anybody.
I've learned.
We're playing.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
All right. Well, Shane, thank you so much for spending some time with us. I really do appreciate it. You guys are doing some great things down there, and eventually, Chris and I'll get down to the regional.
Yeah.
But, good luck.
Look it up. I plan on taking a trip out to another tours regional. We haven't picked it out yet where we're going. We try to do at least one a year. We try to travel at least a couple times. Well, I got tours all over Florida, but I'm tired of playing with them guys. I like to play some.
Well, you're always welcome up in Atlanta, that's for sure.
Oh, we will. We're just trying to figure it out. With these tournaments and tour and doing all this stuff, we don't have a lot of weekends.
No, you're right.
I got chores to do around the house, and sometimes it's tough. It is really tough.
And Marie doesn't take no for an answer. We've already established that.
Oh, so yeah, you can talk to Jen and everybody. Let me tell you. She's good though. She's good. When it comes down to it, she's a lifeline. She is a lifeline on a lot of things in life.
Yep.
So I appreciate that, and a lot of people know that, even though we all think we're all pain in the butts, but we want the best. We want this Golf Week Amateur Tour to be not even a question, the best tour out there. We try to make it the best tour, the best payouts, the best trophies, and the best players. That's my goal. Is I don't take second. We're going to have the most players. We're going to have the most money given out, and that's what we want. We want the word of mouth to make this happen and keep it happening.
Right.
So anyway,
you guys doing a great job. So
hours, but the rain's about to stop. I might have to go play some golf. I don't know what y'all are doing. Yeah, don't look. Hey, don't scroll down and look at my scores. All right, because I'm just
that's all right. Today. Well, we already know it's hard to being a tour director and playing in tournaments and doing well.
My first practice shot is on the first hole.
That's it.
And I'm like, I don't get to warm. I mean, there's some courses I get to warm up a little bit, but sometimes I don't. And let me tell you though, yesterday was just the opposite. A couple of tournaments last year that I have won is I've gone up there with no expectation and played the first hole with the first ball with the first swing. I've won events not hitting the range. So it is what it is. It
is.
All right. Well, look, Tim, I appreciate what y'all doing over there. Chris, stay over there.
We're good over here. Don't worry.
All right. Good deal. All right, man. Well, y'all have a good one. I appreciate it. And I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right. Take care.
All right, brother.
All right. Bye.
Later. Tim, it's always a great time when we have directors on our podcast. It allows everybody to get to know all the directors around the tour itself. But, Shane can talk, and I'm pretty sure he's still talking. Finished the interview. He's probably still talking to himself, but can't wait to get Don on and get the second half of this story from their Ryder Cup.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what Don has to say, but Shane has probably been one of the most passionate tour directors we've had on. I mean, he's into it and passionate about his players and passionate about the tour. Yeah,
he is. And I mean, you can tell it, from the moment I met him that he enjoys what he's doing. He loves it. And it's all about the members, it doesn't matter how many people turn up. He wants to make sure everybody feels welcome. Like you said, if you see someone just hanging out in the corner, not talking to anybody, they're probably a new member and they need to meet somebody to feel comfortable. So, you can just tell in the interview, like you said, that his passion for his tour and Golf Week in general is just huge.
He talked a little bit about how high the scores were at his most recent tournament. And his champ scores were a little high, but the other was, were really right in line. And that course that they played, I've played it before. It's a tough course. And for, the A-flight player to shoot a 4 over 75. Man, I'll tell you that A-flight player was having a really good day. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, it seems like it. And, I play some courses as well where the champ guys are playing a little bit closer than they're normally used to. And you hear it at the end of the round how they're used to driver, pitching wedge 9-iron in, and now they have to figure out they can't go driver because that course or that hole is protected by so much that they got to actually do math and club selection, and that can throw a golfer off real quick if you're not used to it.
Exactly. Well, let's go ahead and transition a little bit. We're going from the warm weather and down in Tampa up to St. Louis, where I'm sure it's a little bit cooler than it is in Tampa. Let's go ahead and bring in my friend Colin Dooley from the St. Louis Tour. Colin, welcome, bud.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I just saw you a couple weeks ago, and the weather down here, when you were here for the icebreaker, was relatively nice. We had some rain and then some nice weather and a little windy on Sunday, but weather was relatively nice. What's it like in St. Louis today?
Currently, it's about mid-50s, which is really warm for February. It's Mardi Gras up here, so big deal. Actually, today is the dog parade, which is my wife and daughter are down at right now. But when I saw you down in the regional at the icebreaker, the cold weather followed me down, so I must apologize for that.
Let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, Srixon.
ZX Mark II drivers are for major players, major winners, major power. All new ZX Mark II drivers, only from Srixon.
Well, to me, it wasn't really that bad, and right now it's mid-50s here in Hilton Head, so we're about the same.
Right.
But I do apologize for keeping you from the dog parade. So you've been on tour for a while. So I don't know if you know all this, but you've been on tour since 2016. You probably know that. But do you know how many rounds you've played?
I don't, but I usually try and play almost every one I can get my hands on.
Well, you do. You've played 125 rounds, including the last two that were in Hilton Heads. So, I won't count those. So you've played 123 full season, 123 rounds in full season through 2023. So you're averaging a little over 15 rounds per year. So you don't miss.
No.
Why is that? I mean, because you're not rare, but we all know it's difficult. You've got a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
You're married. And I know your daughter, and I know she keeps you busy.
Yep.
How is it that you can, do your schedule so that you don't miss, and you make a commitment to this and don't miss. How'd that come about?
Yeah. Well, so growing up in the Dooley household with 8 kids, and I'm the youngest of all of them, my father would make time for golf. That was his sanity check. Before he went into the restaurant, he would go and he'd play 9. When you can start your day at 9, 10 a.m. and later nights and stuff after the dinner rush and everything. But that was one of my favorite memories was golfing with my dad. I didn't get into it like my brothers and sister did, like when I was younger. So I got into it when I was 25, and then I got the golf bug and stuff, and just realized that it really. So there's a family connection there, and one of the bigger things is also kind of really gave me an outlet for my competitive nature. Aside from my job. And the opportunity to practice acceptance, the 125 rounds in the D flight, so I would like to be higher. Believe me, I would. But, I actually played a course yesterday. One of the Pete Dye design, actually, we have one in town, and it's a fantastic course. And that course usually chews me up pretty good. But yesterday I shot a 96. At a course that I normally average probably, 105, 108 easy,
Nice.
So in winter conditions. So again, things have improved and changed, and it's, it serves a lot of purposes for me.
Just want to make sure I heard you right. Did you say practice acceptance? Is that what you said?
I did.
I tease Chris a lot about his putting, and I hope to God he's not going to practice acceptance with his puttings.
No, I just got to take the action. That's what I'm responsible for. So, that's what it's 125 opportunities to take action. That's fun down.
Anybody that, when we talk to people, anybody that doesn't miss it, to me, it's one of those things that, as tour directors, we can't miss, right? Because we've got to be there, right? Because we're expected to be there and run these tournaments. But you all as players, you choose to be there. And that to me is one of those things that just gets me fired up about the season and making sure that we're taking care of everybody, especially, the people like you who make that commitment and just don't miss.
Yeah. And I really appreciate it. I did have a season, as as St. Louis's tour director for a year. And that was great. I really enjoyed it. I would have loved to have done it or continue to do it. I really, it would have fit nicely. But just work, family commitment, prevented me from doing that. And then also really, I had to be honest with myself about my ability to serve the tour the way I wanted. And I just, I could do the day of stuff, no problem. I mean, just a straight, about a 12-hour day, but whatever. It's not uncommon for me to work hard at something I want. And then, but the ability to do the tour, the growth for the region and the supporting and the recruiting and all that stuff that is absolutely vital to the success of the St. Louis tour. I had to turn it over, and I found a really, really great replacement for myself. And I'm super happy with Tyler and Jamie and how well they're doing and doing everything that I couldn't do and in pretty fine form. So good on them.
Tyler and Jamie do a phenomenal job. I mean, every time I turn around, look at the website or look at Facebook, they're putting something else up there and it blows me away. And, like you said, if you can't do the week stuff, we don't have anybody showing up for the tournaments. And that's right. So it's critical. Again, Tyler and Jamie are doing great. St. Louis is thriving. But let's get into you a little bit more. You generally travel to at least one regional a year, and I saw you down in Hilton Head for the Icebreaker. That's generally one that you hit. You had been either hitting that one or Oconee, and that one kind of went away this year. But you were in Hilton Head. Are you going to any other regionals this year?
Yeah, I was really excited. I don't have the money to go to Brandon Dunes, but I saw American Dunes on there, and I got real excited. Around the Memorial Day weekend, we've been doing Whistling Straits, which is absolutely hands down. I love those trips because they're the bucket list trips. Especially, I mean, Whistling is Ryder Cup was there years ago. I don't know if American Dunes hosted any PGA Tour events, but I go to these regionals. I want to go to, if the PGA Tour plays on them, then for sure, like Deer Run, right? Or Harbortown, which is part of the Icebreaker. But American Dunes, my family's played up in Michigan a lot, and I've always wanted to make it up there. That gives me an excuse to get up there, and it looks like a phenomenal course.
Yeah, Chris and I that's our next definite trip. There may be another one in between there, but that's our next definite trip. And yes, I'm looking, looking at the website for that, and how it revolves around the Folds of Honor. To me, that's going to be a phenomenal tournament, and Michelle does a great job with the Michigan tour. So I know that she's going to do a great job with that regional.
Yeah.
So you played a bunch of rounds, obviously with Golf Week, but it sounds like you play rounds, on your own as well. Tell us what probably what your best round was, your most memorable round that you've had within your golf career.
Best round, yeah. My best round, the first time I played Harbortown was easily one of my favorites. I mean, it's just so nice being able to watch the RBC. It's such a cool course anyway. Just being there is great. Mm-hmm. But then I remember the year after I played that, and then on, I believe 16's that par 3 with that guy's house right behind it, right behind the green. And of course I pulled it into his yard, which is OB. And every time I see it, and I've been doing this, my daughter could probably quote me on this by this point, but every time we watch that hole and the professionals play it, my daughter's like, don't go left. Don't pull it in that guy's yard. That's OB. Don't do that. So it's just really cool. Like watching, what my experience has been, how it really gives me a depth of appreciation for what the pros do beyond what I already have. Just really makes it that much more real for me. Whistling Straits is great. That kind of just, we don't get those kind of winds and those kind of conditions and stuff that you have to play into in St. Louis. We're in the Mississippi River Valley. It's not too windy unless there's a tornado, and those don't last that long. We'll come right out afterwards. It's fine. The holes in the ground are for, Whistling Straits for sure. TPC Deer Run. That's a fun course for sure. And it's only like 4 hours away from us. So,
well, I remember that the first time I was up at Whistling Straits, that was probably, I've run, I can't even tell you how many tournaments. That to me was probably one of the most fun events and tournaments I've ever been a part of. Being at that course and, the hospitality that they gave us, and, we actually had perfect weather that day. When we were on the Straits course, it was a long day. So everybody had a great time. I mean, we were hanging out till way past when we should have been, but that was probably, again, one of my most fun events that I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. And I'll say one of my favorite things for sure is like you said, I've played a lot of rounds and I've traveled a decent amount. There is a certain breed of guys that the same guys that travel in the regionals and nationals and stuff. And I've made a lot of really good friends, and I mean, I've really never met anybody, that I haven't really liked or, whatever. If I don't like them, I just don't talk to them. It's that simple. I mean, I'm out there to play my game. I mean, friends is kind of a side benefit to really it all. But I mean, it is pretty cool, having done this since 2016. It's 8 years, meeting a lot of different people. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Chris and his brother do a lot of traveling to regionals. So he went to Whistling Straits the second year that I was up there. Isn't that right, Chris, when you were there?
Yes, it was the second year. I remember. Yeah. I remember seeing Tim come up 16 telling us to hurry up because we're running behind. So
yeah.
So actually, but both those times we were rushing getting people off the course because it was getting dark.
Right.
Funny story, Chris, that not many people know about. That after that round, we're packing everything up and we realized we're missing two of the close to the pins. Okay. And another tour director was there, and I said, we're missing too close to the pins, and then he disappeared, and now we can't find him. He's walking around the course. This is like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So we're still there. 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. He's walking around the course in the dark, looking for the close to the pins. That we knew where he was.
Jeez.
And we found him in the caddy shack. Found the close to the pins in the caddy shack, not the tour.
Not him. Yeah. I hope he showed up too.
Well, yeah. we weren't going to leave him. We got him, and needless to say, he didn't drive home. Obviously, good times. Colin, you said you're practicing acceptance. Is there any part of your game that you're working on for this year to get better at?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm for sure working on my game to improve. That acceptance thing is so that I can stay focused over the shot that I'm in at that moment. Because that, one thing that has helped me for sure is keeping my focus. Sometimes the rounds get to be 5 hours. And it really is a discipline to not. And if you watch my scores, because my wife will watch my scores on live leaderboard, and so will some of my friends. I send them to them, and and they take my money and all that fun stuff. My wife has noticed several times, and some other people have said, "Man, you do really great." And then around hole, between 12 and 15, it kind of comes off, and I've got food, I got a snack. I had a whole snack regimen. I had, energy drink, I don't slam those all the time, but taking those. I was reading articles about how, the pros stay hydrated and you nourish throughout their round and keep their focus and stuff. And basically mental errors is absolutely something I always try and keep in mind because that's 100% preventable. At least that's the closest thing I have to control over that. And it's gotten a lot better. When there are mistakes, they need to be, I would rather have them be things where it's just golf, just golf happening, as opposed to just being like, I was really wishing for something to manufacture something as opposed to like having a process yield result.
Right.
There's a lot of stoic practice out there for sure, with a ball and a stick and a man chasing a dream.
Trust me, it doesn't get easier. It doesn't get easier.
But that's not the point. That's the beauty of it.
Right. I mean, if you've heard the podcast recently, my struggles with putting has been, I think now it's just more mental than the stroke. So I completely understand what you're saying.
Speaking of putting, I was looking at the Meridian putters they had displayed down there at the Icebreaker, and I really, really, really like those. And then I came back, and the putter that I have been using is very, very. It's a concrete cinder block brick. It's an Odyssey. It's fine, but it definitely doesn't have that milled face. And then me a couple. I think the Lighthouse version has copper inlay in it. And boy, was that, I had all kinds of good feels on those faster greens at Harbor Town. Those greens are stupid fast. And with a heavier, kind of less feely putter that I've been rocking for years, that's fine in Missouri. You know what I mean? When you're putting on those, our greens aren't that fast typically. Not the same as when I get down to the Southeast or, better courses elsewhere. Man, I need like almost a half a day just to kind of adjust to the speed and the extra rollout that I'm not used to. It really is a hardcore adjustment.
Oh, yeah. I hope you get one of those Meridian putters. And this isn't a Meridian segment, but I was down at the PGA show a couple weeks ago, and I talked to the guys, and they got a pretty big award. They were named to the Golf Digest hot list.
Yeah, I saw that actually,
which is huge. Which is, I mean, it's huge for them, and they've also got a contract with Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oh,
nice.
So I mean, that's huge, especially for it's one guy, and it's one guy in the machine shop who's doing that. That's huge for them, and proud of them, and glad that they're partnering with us and the tour.
Well, that's the one thing that's kept me from buying it is the I was able to use it down there, but then I was like reading up on them and their milled faces and like the different, and they do a pretty good job of explaining it. But again, feel is feel, and quite frankly, like what Scotty Cameron and Bertinardi, if I'm saying that right, and those other ones that are like $400, they're not that great. I go up to Golf Galaxy, I hit them, like I don't really notice that much of a difference. Maybe they're how they look, how they suit my eye might be a little bit better, but the price point's right where it needs to be, in my opinion. And I'll spend that much money on a good putter for me, and maybe that's more of a testament to my skill level. But it's still even, I don't know. Golf equipment has gotten insane. Like,
just like everything else in golf, right?
Yes, right, exactly. And it's getting pretty cost prohibitive, really. So that's been kind of a challenge. I was thinking about, I don't know if they've got a display up in American Dunes in May, but I kind of hope they do, because I would love to get another chance to really test their gear out and find what really suits me.
Yeah.
I didn't buy in Hilton Head only because they didn't have one that was like all of them were like 34 or whatever. And I'm 6'2". That was just not going to work for me, Otherwise, I would have thrown it in my bag that day.
Right.
Well, hopefully they're out there. I've been excited to try them. Wasn't able to see them in Vegas, but can't wait to see, to compare it to my putter that I thought was great and apparently not that good. Tim gives me a hard time because he's always asking me, how many putts do you have today? How many putts do you have today? And that's the only goal I missed in my 2023 goals was putting. Everything else blew out of the water. That was the only one that I literally struggled with.
Right.
That's all right. You're going to get it down, and it's still only February. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I got faith in you.
I have a little bit of faith in myself. We'll see.
You got to have more faith. You're going to be fine.
I'm practicing. What was it? Acceptance.
Yeah.
We don't want you to practice acceptance.
But yeah, these regionals are fantastic. You know, so you got the American Dunes. I was looking at the Cajun Classic. You know, we're actually driving down. My family and I are driving down to Florida in over spring break, and over the St. Patty's Day weekend, we've got True Blue at Paulie's, which can be a bit too far for me. But I was, if it wouldn't cause such a ruckus, I would go down to the Magnolia Classic, because we're driving down. I don't know, split off somewhere around Nashville, do a quick 2-day golf tournament, then meet them in Orlando.
Yeah, there you go.
I would totally do that. You think I'm kidding? I'm not.
Well, I know you're not kidding, but I also know that's not even it's a non-starter. Don't even bring it up.
No, a man can dream that.
But you talk about the Louisiana regional. So Chris and I are doing back to back. So we're 2 weeks in a row. We're flying to Michigan, then flying right back to Louisiana. So if you want to join us, we'd love to have you.
We'll be in there.
Yeah, if you want to, if I can use your clubs and you want to, check me out as your carry-on, that's fine. I don't know if I'm fit, but
well, so what you don't know is when we travel for this, I got what we call the big ass box. It's a big box.
It's big.
It's a big box. Yeah.
Carrying that thing around in and of itself is an adventure.
Yeah, I bet.
But anyway, are there any other course or tournaments that you're really looking forward to playing this year?
Around here, shout out to Tyler and Jamie. They're really stacked a good local season for us. We're playing we got a 2-day tournament right in the beginning, right in the front of the season. That's special. We don't really ever do that. We usually wait until later in the spring. Sometimes March in St. Louis is a little volatile. I actually had a tournament last year, St. Patrick's Day. We played that same course, and it was 28 degrees with like a sustained 20 mile an hour wind. It was ridiculous. We actually had a friend of mine, Edmund Rowe, come down from Milwaukee and play with us. And I quit that day. I've never quit. And I'm like the mailman when it comes to golf. Nothing's stopping me. This is getting delivered. I'm signing that card, no matter how hard it is. I'm signing it and I'm turning it in. I couldn't do it. I couldn't, and I was layered out, and I know how to be outside when it's not great. And that day showed me otherwise. But anyway, so we're going back there, 2 days there. We got some pretty Missouri Bluffs. They've played PGA events at. I put Peevely Farms is also one where you're kind of, at that level. College and high school golf clubs love to go to Tapawingo. And then, I started doing this because I wanted to get our guys for nationals. And I always talked at nationals when I was a tour director, and I've passed this along, and Tyler's seen it this way too, I think. But we always end with a 2-day at Far Oaks in Illinois. We're right on the Missouri-Illinois border. And those greens are about as comparable as we can get here as they are down in Hilton Head. So I really like that one to get people prepared, and doing 2 days there and really putting pressure on people, and, really just trying to prep them for what they're going to come up against, because got to represent down there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the 2024 season. Well,
good. Again, Tyler's doing a great job. And, the other day I just happened to get on Facebook, and, I think you and I talked about this. He was doing a free raffle for entry into the first tournament, and did the wheel of names thing, which I think is cool. Anyway, but that's just dad humor, I guess. But you probably need to talk to him, because I don't know if you actually saw the wheel of names thing go around, but you just missed it. You were number 7, and the winner was Tom Pursley, and it was ready to stop on you, and then it just kind of went right to Tom. So I think you probably need to talk to Tyler about that and see what the deal is.
Yeah, I'll just practice acceptance, and then I'll just really focus on actually winning, through my own recognizance. And I'll just go out there and take it the old-fashioned way. You know what I mean?
There you go.
My favorite way.
We'll take that too.
That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, it sounds like you have a great time with your tour. But one thing that we like to ask all the members that we do have on our show is, what's one thing that brings you back, that keeps you coming back year after year? Even to like you said, you travel to all these regionals. What brings that excitement to be able to go and travel for these events?
It's really just, it's the competitive outlet that I feel like I have in my house. I grew up with sports in my house as a kid. I feel like it's a wonderful teacher for just good living, and I instill that into my own daughter. And, and I don't believe that being like not totally obsessed with sports, when it's work time, it's work time, when it's family time. But, in my own personal time for my own perspective, to maintain a good perspective on life and health and all that stuff, I think sports is a really good outlet for me and is constructive. I do investments for a living, so that's a highly competitive, almost contact sport at times and stuff. And you know what I mean? Golf is a stress reliever. It's also there's a lot of strategy. I heard it. I can't remember who made this quote, but they're basically like, look, 4.5 hour rounds. They're like, look, that's 4.5 hours of problem solving right there. That's what that is. So that
I like that.
I like it. It suits my analytical nature, and, I love the ability to just kind of look at a given situation and play it different ways and just see what I can come up with. There's creativity, but there's also, just high application to a strategy.
No, I was going to say, I like what you said there. And I think, as you said it, I was thinking about the courses I've had great success on. And they're the ones where it makes me think about how to hit this shot or what I need to do, as opposed to, the course I play, every other week, where it's, okay, I'm going to hit this shot because I've done it so many times. And you seem to play it worse every time that you play that hole. But these new courses makes you think for a while about what you need to do to at least get your best opportunity at least a par.
I will say, and I'm glad you said that, to further that question, I was actually, like I said, I was at a Pete Dye course here, which Old Hickory around here is the private course. And a friend had me on. It was beautiful. We walked the course. It's bunkered like any Pete Dye course. It's got so many interesting, like, little, ways to, or features of it and everything. And, I was talking about, I was like, man, I'd love to be a member out here, but I've actually foregone being a member of private clubs. Nothing against them. They're great courses, but I really do like the spirit of the tour, being in a different place, even if I play, the standards that we have, Spencer Teal and Missouri Bluffs, Peebly Farm, the Falls, these are all courses that we play every single year, but I only play it once. Right. And, it brings me back in the days when I was, playing competitive sports. You only play this one high school once this season.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you beat them, like, I played water polo for, all of high school and stuff. And, St. Louis University High School had one of the best teams. And when we played them, if you could kick the shit out of them, you were going to find them and the winner's circle at the end. And we'll see what's what, And like, there are courses like that, you come up against some of the monsters and you do well on that, it's a good test for, what shape your game's in. It'll tell you a lot.
Oh yeah, golf will humble you real quick.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good perspective as well. Well, Colin, I appreciate you taking some time with us again. Sorry you missed the dog parade. Give my best to your family. You know how I feel about you guys, and really looking forward to seeing you in a couple months.
You bet. Great to talk to you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, bud. Take care.
Tim, it was great, at least from my point, to meet Colin. I know you've known him for a while, but he sounds, like all of our members that do show up all year long. Every tour has, I don't want to say a handful, but it doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a good amount of members that every tour has that shows up consistently. You can count on them, and at some point when you don't see their registration, you kind of hope that there's nothing wrong and text them to see if everything's okay, because those are the guys that are going to be there. Rain, snow, hail, wind, cold, whatever. They're going to be out there.
Yeah, and Colin's a great guy. I mean, he doesn't miss. He's fun to play with. He's fun to be around. Yeah, he's one of those guys that doesn't matter how he's playing. He's picking everybody else up. Making sure that everybody is having fun and having a good time. When I was in St. Louis, he would be the one that everybody would say, can I be paired with Colin? Can I be paired with Colin? Can I be paired with Colin? You know, so, you know, it's great having guys like him. Like I told him, I said, we need more Collins on the tour.
Yeah. Yeah. They're great, recruiters, you know, and it just shows everybody what the tour is all about. And that is not just about golf. Is golf competition the main thing? Of course. I mean, we're here to try and win the tournament, but it's those members that you get to meet and make lifelong friendships with that you just can't beat.
Yeah. Yeah. You had a tournament a couple weeks ago. We're just switch gears for just a second here. You know, you had a tournament a couple weeks ago, and we only had 2 entries for the shirt contest, and they both came from your tour. So what are you telling these guys in terms of getting them to submit their shirts and pictures? Yeah,
I mean, I noticed that they had very unique shirts when they came in to check in. Typically at this time of year, it's cold, so I wasn't expecting to see much, you know, with outerwear and things like that. But when I did see it, it was great to see. And I just, you know, I asked them. I know one of them was an avid listener to our show. He sends me a picture every time when he's listening to it in his Tesla, and it's just like, you know, I appreciate it. So I asked him. I said, "Hey, you know about the shirt contest, right?" He's like, "Yeah, but I don't think I qualify." I'm like, it's unique. And that's unique to Hilton Head. That's unique to golf in general. So I would consider wearing your shirt the whole time and submitting it. And sure enough, he did. There was another one of my playing partners that had a nice shirt. He was showing it off because he's not used to seeing cactus around. So he was like, "Look at what my wife bought me, this and that." And I, you know, just explained to him, "Hey, we have this shirt contest. You want a free trip to nationals? This is the way to do it." And he submitted it. He needed a little more help than the other one, but we were able to get it done. And I'm glad that they did it correctly, because I'm not going to hold their hand and help them get through it. But we were able to get that completed, which was nice.
Yeah. So we've got entries from Jordan Moreau. Is that how you say
Morrow?
It?
Yeah. Jordan Morrow.
What flight's he in?
He's in B flight.
Yeah, so
he's
Moreau.
a little mad. He's a little mad because I keep beating him. And since I moved up, he hasn't won an event. So
should he be practicing acceptance?
Probably.
So Jordan Morrow from the B flight and Drake Wares from the A flight.
Drake's a great guy. Second year on tour. I mean, he's loved it ever since, and he's bringing in new members, which is nice to see as well. It's good to see his group coming in, and now hopefully he has a chance to go ahead and take that. Yeah.
So you know, we got voting going on now, so hopefully we'll be able to announce a winner in our next episode, which comes out on the 26th of February. So if you know, again, lots of tournaments going on, please make sure you check the show notes for the website with all the rules on how to enter, and you know, get these shirt entries in. Those, you know, as the season goes along, there's going to be, you know, more and more people playing and more and more entries. So make sure you go to Facebook to vote for the winner of the January contest as well.
Yes. You know, not wanting to toot my horn or anything, but go ahead and vote for my guys. Let's pick one, because obviously we can only have one. But that's one of 8 that have already made it into the bracket.
Right.
So now we're in February, and if you haven't either A, taken us serious about this competition, or B, think that you don't have a chance, hey, 2 guys submitted their entries 3 days before the month ended, and now one of them has a 1 in 8 chance of getting nationals paid for.
The one thing I do want to mention here, and you know, I'll update the rule sheet with this, is make sure you take a close up of the shirt so that we can actually see the detail. Because that's part of this. These 2 guys submitted good pictures, but we want to really see the detail of these shirts to be able to evaluate their worthiness. Let's just say.
Right. No, I agree, and I think that was on me, because they kind of asked me if it was a good enough picture, and I thought it was. But when you did bring it up, it's really good to be able to see the design itself without having to zoom in on whatever device you're using it.
Right. Well,
so that I'll take responsibility of that one.
No, that's all right. I mean, here's one, Chris. we give you a hard time about your putting, and I know that's going to change, but what most of our listeners don't know is, when it comes to the technical aspect of the podcast, Chris is definitely the driver here. If there's anything that goes wrong, he's the one who fixes it. And, with both the interviews for this episode, I had a little bit of technical difficulties in connecting, and Chris, jumped on it and got our guests connected. So I'm not going to give you a hard time about pictures. These guys all have phones in their hands, been taking pictures for a long time.
Right.
That's kind of one of them, but you do a great job. Go ahead.
Honestly, I wish I was able to enter. I did get my shirt that I purchased from Mr. Butler, who was a guest on our show a while back. And that thing is fire. So I can't wait to put that shirt on this weekend. It is nice. It is comfy.
Take a picture of it anyway.
Oh, I will. I already sent it to him, and ironically, he was wearing that same shirt that same day that I received it.
Okay.
So he sent me a picture. He was like, "Oh, I like your shirt as well." He had the same one, so it was cool to see. But if you haven't checked out, Butler Golf, definitely check them out as well, because he was a sponsor, and it's some great designs that he has.
So, as we've been talking about, we've got some big things, in the works over the next few weeks. We're going to be getting a new website for the podcast. So we're actually working on that now. And so as soon as that comes out, we'll let everybody know. But the new website's going to be pretty much attached to or through the tour website, which is going to give us a lot more flexibility. We can post pictures. If we had it last year when we talked to the James brothers, think of all the pictures that we could have posted that they sent us.
That might have crashed the webpage with all those pictures.
I asked Shane to send some pictures, and for this episode, and once the website's up, we'll be able to post those. But again, we're gonna have a lot more functionality for that for you all as listeners to be able to go to and find information and maybe interact with us a little bit better. Yeah,
I'm excited to see that. I know we talked about it a little while, but that's what we want. We want the interaction with the tour members, and that's why we're doing these regional travels and trying to get all these. If you win a regional, we'll get you on the show or a national championship, walking around, getting interviews, because this podcast is for y'all. It's not for our enjoyment, even though we do enjoy doing it. It's for you guys to have another way to interact with everybody that's on tour. And I think that's just a great thing that we have to offer.
All right. So Chris, you've got a tournament. You got tournaments coming up?
I do. I have 2 this month, and then my seniors kick off as well.
Okay,
so the senior guys will be able to get theirs going, and then it's all hands on deck until end of October.
Yep,
when national championships over. It's going to be a blur, but I can't wait. I enjoy this every year, and can't wait to see you guys again. Hang out with you at our regionals, and I'm going to take a surprise guest with me to Louisiana. I know Gina is going to be excited to meet this guest.
Yeah, I am too, because I've not met this person yet, so I'm excited to do that. So it'll be a good time, and maybe we should revisit our schedule and see what else we can get to. Yeah,
I'm open for anything.
All right, my friend. Well, you have a good couple weeks, and we'll talk to you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. We'll see you then. Be safe.
All right, take care. Chris, we didn't do it again.
What didn't we do?
We didn't say how to join the tour.
That's right. It's simple. All you need to do is go to amateurgolftour.net, click the Join the Tour button, and pay your local tours membership.
Thanks, Chris. Membership for 2024 is open, so register today to join the oldest, largest, and best amateur tour in the country.